watching the Dark.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Shot in the Dark. I am your host, John Siino Evil here. Let's get right down to it. AEW Dark Elevation coming from Texas. Eddie Kingston, he starts the show on commentary with Tony Schiavone and Paul White. He's on commentary for the majority of this show, with the exception of, I think, one match that Jake Hager replaced him in, as well as the match that he was in. Obviously, he did not commentate on that. But the first match, Jungle Boy defeated Mark Quinn with the snare trap after Quinn missed the shooting star press. The Hardy Family Office and Jurassic Express all get involved outside at some point. Yuka Sakazaki defeated Amber Nova with an airplane spin. Thunder Rosa, with a record of 19-2, number 2 in the women's division, defeated Micah Madrid, making her debut with the Peruvian Calavera choke. Madrid is a local talent from Texas. That's my favorite part of AEW Dark and all these other shows being back on the road now, is we're going to get a lot more local talent that we haven't seen before. And Rosa, I have to announce, if you haven't already heard, she is officially signed to All Elite Wrestling, so that is great. Madrid, I've seen recently on Shine Wrestling, and they did note here that Rosa is on a 16-match winning streak. Luchasaurus defeated Jora Joel, very quick here with the spinning kick to the head. Scorpio Sky defeated Fuego del Sol with the TKO, but Fuego, he pretty much hung it throughout this match, and at one point Sky even tried to take off Fuego's mask. Angelico defeated Marco Stunt by submission with a torture rack in a real competitive match. And after the match, Angelico just kept attacking Marco Stunt for no reason. The Bunny's backstage. She cuts a promo on Chris Statlander and says that she's going to drag her face off today. And we go to the match. Chris Statlander and Ty Conti, teaming up for the first time, defeated the Bunny and Maddie Rankowski when Chris Statlander pinned Rankowski after the Big Bang Theory. Statlander and Conti definitely worked very well here as a tag team. Wardlow, with a record of 5-1, defeated Bear Bronson by referee stoppage with the Casualty of War, but Bear Bronson did not make this match easy. Jake Hager did replace Kingston on commentary for this match, and him and Wardlow kind of stare each other down after the match, so there is more to come with these. Alex Marvez is backstage with James Darnell, who won the AEW Elite General Manager Invitational Championship. So he can pick Lee Johnson's opponent tonight, and the stipulation is, if he wins the match, he will get a TNT title shot against Miro on the August 4th Homecoming episode of Dynamite from Daily's Place. So James picks Luther, and then Aubrey Edwards comes in and hands James his custom Elite GM Tournament Championship. And we go to the match. Lee Johnson, with a record of 8-2, defeated Luther with the Spinal Tap after a hard-fought victory. So he does earn himself the TNT title shot. And after the match, Miro comes on the stage, and he tells Johnson that your last opponent was picked by a fan, but your next opponent is picked by God. So at AEW Homecoming, Lee Johnson, you are next against the War. We go to the next match. Eddie Kingston defeated Serpentico with the spinning back fist. We go to an in-ring segment with Jade Cargill, who's dressed like in a cowgirl outfit, comes out with Smart Mark Sterling. Sterling said that her and Jade had been having a ball here, but they tried the barbecue in Texas and it sucks, and he prefers vegan barbecue, so the whole crowd boos. They said that Jade has been having a lot of meetings in Hollywood, but they had to fly here to Texas for an opportunity as they are looking for the next great partner for the Jade brand. So they're taking all offers on Twitter, and unlike Texas, that under 2 inches of snow, they get shut down, the Jade brand cannot be shut down. And for monetary purposes, Jade says her catchphrase, "I'm that bitch." Lucha Brothers, who reunited here, defeated Allen 5 Angels and 10 of the Dark Order. This is Lucha Brothers' first time tag teaming with each other since January on an episode of Dark, and this is Rey Fenix's first match since April. Penta does get the pin on Angels after a Fear Factor double stomp combo. Really good match here, and it's always awesome to see Lucha Brothers back to their regular form. Gun Club, Colton and Billy teaming up with Brock Anderson, defeated Chandler Hopkins, Cameron Cole, and Izzy James, who's making his debut here. Colton gets the pin after hitting the Colt 45 on Izzy James. In the main event, Pac, with a record of 5-1-1, defeated Chuck Taylor with a record of 12-4 with the Black Arrow. Pretty good main event here, and the crowd seemingly is to be more behind Pac in this match. And after the match, Andrade and Chavo come out, and they have a stare down with the Death Triangle. They tease coming to the ring, but Chavo tells Andrade to go back to the locker room. We go to AEW Dark. Evil Uno and Stu Grayson cut a promo ahead of tonight's match, as well as the 5-on-5 elimination match on Dynamite. First match, straight out of your mama's kitchen, Red Velvet defeated Alejandra Lyon, making her debut with this new finishing move she calls the Final Slice, which is like a DDT with her leg twisting. We go backstage. Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss are together again, and Janela says that they're back together and better than ever, so no more go-go bars and no more bad influences like Alex Marvez. And next week on the 100th episode of Dark, it is the start of their road to the AEW Tag Team titles, so they're putting the Young Bucks on notice, and Sonny Kiss chimes in with Bad Romance is back. So we'll see if this is a legit reunion from these two or just another one of Joey's shenanigans. Abaddon defeated Killer K, who's making her debut, also winning with her leg-like DDT. Diamante and Big Swole have their, their big build-up match here. Diamante does win with a roll-up, but she holds on to the ropes, so I'm sure that this feud is not over yet. Evil Uno and Stu Grayson defeated the team of Zach Mason and Warren Johnson. They're both making their debut here. They've been a tag team in the Indies for a couple years, going by the name of Fly Death. Grayson pins Johnson with a running knee strike pile driver combo. And in the main event, Varsity Blondes and Dante Martin defeated the Acclaimed and Ryan Nemeth. Masscasters freestyle this week says something about leaving you with blood clots like Johnson & Johnson, and he's going to rip Julia Hart like Ezekiel Elliott's dog. Dante Martin gets the pin on Nemeth after a flipping stunner. Then after the match, Pillman cuts a promo and says that the Acclaim might be good on the mic, but the Varsity Blondes are good in the ring, and that's why they're number one in the tag team division, and if anybody wants a title shot, they have to go through them. NWA Powerrr, our first round number 1 of the Champion Series. Tom Latimer defeated Marche Rocket, so that's 5 points for Camille and Austin Idol. Genocide defeated Sky Blue, so that's 5 points for the Pope and Velvet Sky. JTG defeated Mims, so that's 5 points for Aaron Stevens and Taryn Terrell. And the main event, Trevor Murdoch defeated Fred Rosser by submission, so that puts Pope and Velvet at 10 points. And at the end of round 1, Nick Aldis and Melina have 0 points. NXT UK, the show starts with Sis Scala cutting to William Regal, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels, who address the postponement of the Walter Ila Dragunov, but they do happily announce that the match will happen in the United States at NXT TakeOver 36, so I'm highly looking forward to that match. We get a promo from Symbiosis where they challenge Mustache Mountain. The first match, Nina Samuels defeated Laura Di Matteo with a backbreaker into the knee, which is like a new finisher that she's doing here. These two actually worked really well together, and they've had a handful of matches throughout Progress and elsewhere. We get a quick video of Teoman and Rohan Raja talking about family. They cut to Zaya Brookside backstage, who's about to talk, but Blair Davenport interrupts her and says that the only reason people talk about Zaya is because of her last name. We go to Supernova Sessions with Noam Dar, where his guests are Ginny and Joseph Connors. Dar tries to flirt with Ginny, but then asks what Connors and Ginny's relationship is, but they pretty much say that it's only business. As Noam tries to sign off, Ginny calls out Aoife Valkyrie and says that she watches from afar because she's a scared little fragile girl, and it will be her that destroys her. They hype up Rampage Brown versus Joe Coffey 3, which is happening soon. Joseph Connors defeated Tristan Archer. Archer, you might have recognized, he actually was in the Cruiserweight Classic back in 2016. His name was Clement Petiot. He's a French wrestler, and he's actually wrestled in WXW recently. Archer had a lot of close calls throughout this match, almost winning, but Connors does get the pin after his finisher, the Hierarchy. And then after the match, Eva Valkyrie shows up at ringside, and she hands Ginny a feather as a sign to accept her challenge. Jordan Devlin comes out of Sid Scala's office, and he agrees to the 30-minute Iron Man match with A-Kid. Jack Stars thanks Dave Mastiff backstage for giving him words of encouragement lately, and Mustache Mountain said that they are officially back together and they accept Symbiosis' challenge for next week. And the main event, the NXT UK Tag Team Championship, Pretty Deadly defeated Subculture. Outstanding match here, plenty of crazy spots, definitely recommend this match, definitely check it out. Pretty Deadly was able to outsmart them at the end and sneak in the pin. 205 Live, Asher Hale defeated Guru Raj with a modified Brainbuster. This is a rematch of last week, so Asher Hale does get his win back. And Jake Atlas defeated Ari Sterling with the beautiful cartwheel DDT. This is Atlas's first match on 205 since April 2021, and this is actually a very good match I would recommend as well. New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong, the Tag Team Turbulence semifinals here. Brody King and Chris Dickinson of Violence Unlimited defeated the West Coast Wrecking Crew, Royce Isaacs and Joro Nelson, when Brody pinned Joro Nelson with a lariat. And the Good Brothers advanced by defeating Ren Narita and Yuji Nagata, with Carl Anderson pinning Narita after the Magic Killer. So the finals are set for next week, the Good Brothers versus Violence Unlimited. I haven't heard anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do announce that the winner of this match gets the the New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong Tag Team titles, the same way they did when Tom Lawlor won the New Japan Cup. It might just be one of those last minute surprises where the winners are crowned champions. Speaking of the Strong Openweight title, the main event, Tom Lawlor did defeat Satoshi Kojima by submission with a rear choke after JR Kratos tripped up Kojima on the ropes. After the match, Kratos and Lawlor were questioning who will be next to challenge for the Strong Openweight title. Will it be Bob Sapp? Will it be Ant-Man? Or will it be a Moth? So, of course, Leo Rush steps in and says that he'll accept the challenge, but Lawlor doesn't really give an answer. So I'm confused if this is taped before Leo Rush's retirement or injury, or not. But if the match does happen after Resurgent pay-per-view, then that is going to be a live show. So maybe he is able to, fulfill his commitments like he did announce for New Japan Pro Wrestling and just have this last match on New Japan. We go to Ring of Honor, where Flip Gordon defeated world-famous Cheeseburger, or CB, by submission with the STF. PCO versus Sledge goes to a double disqualification after they pushed away the referee and kept fighting ringside. And the main event, Dak Draper defeated Dalton Castle and Eli Isom, with Draper pinning Isom. This is actually kind of interesting because Castle kind of threw Dak Draper in and had his helpers or his boys ringside kind of like encourage Dak Draper to win here. So not sure what's going on here. WWE main event. This is their first show back on the road with fans. Angel Garza defeated Drew Gulak with the Wing Clipper to a good reaction here in Dallas. And Ricochet defeated Cedric Alexander with the Recoil. Cedric has a little bit of a new look here, like a feathered vest, a headband, new hairstyle. He even wrestles with a mouthpiece here. And the WWE Network editions of the week, WXW, We Love Wrestling, number 13, and another episode of ICW Fight Club. And if you guys haven't checked it out yet, I do have reports on PolishWrestling.com for GCW Homecoming Part 1 and Part 2. Matt Cardona, the new GCW champion, defeated Nick Gage, who will be wrestling tonight on Dynamite versus Chris Jericho. This is a crazy time in wrestling. When Matt Cardona, Daniel Bryan, and CM Punk, the three most talked about wrestlers, just like in 2011. So 10 years later, they're still being talked about. So pretty interesting here. So check out those reports and those shows if you haven't caught them. And I will have a report this weekend for the Impact Wrestling Homecoming Impact Plus pay-per-view, which I guess is a one-day tournament where they will crown the Queen and King of Impact Wrestling. Maybe it'll be Cardona and Chelsea Green. Maybe they'll take over the wrestling world just like Triple H and Stephanie. Who knows? But that is it for me this week. Catch me here next week for another episode of Shot in the Dark.